G'day guys, how's it going? My name is CJ. Smartphones have made cameras more accessible to the general population, and because of this, getting into photography as a hobby has never been easier. As a result of this, third-party manufacturers have been trying to make smartphone photography more versatile and more flexible, which is appropriate given that the camera most people will have on them is going to be their smartphone 99% of the time. One company that has a lot of experience in producing camera-related smartphone accessories is Moment, and their latest creations is just another attempt at trying to make using your smartphone as the only camera a truly viable option. This is the Moment V2 series. Let's take a look. So if you haven't seen it already, I'd previously covered Moment's previous generation of lenses in a previous video, and you can check it out in one of these boxes up here or in the link in the description below. But in short, they were an easy way of increasing the versatility of your smartphone camera by giving you a few other focal lengths to work with, without really sacrificing image quality. The new V2 series expands on their experience with their previous generation, and they've introduced a set of new cases and lenses. To begin with, there's a new mounting interface, which is supposedly made so that it's more compatible across a wider range of smartphone camera modules. The only caveat with this new mounting system is that there's no longer a mounting plate that you can buy for your phone. So instead, you'd have to buy one of their cases in order to make your lenses compatible. Otherwise, it feels a little more robust and secure when you're snapping them on. All you need to do is line up the lines, twist, and on they go. Very easy. And if you own the older V1 lenses, don't fret, Moment actually provides adapters for these old lenses so that you can actually mount the old ones with the new mounting system. So all of Moment lenses have been updated so that they're compatible with the new mounting system. But Moment actually did update their wide-angle lens by introducing a new set of multi-element aspherical glass. And it shows. Compared to the older model, there's a clear difference in size and heft, which gives it a much more premium feel in the hand. The wide-angle lens obviously gives you a wider field of view, which is almost similar to the field of view that you get with an LG G6 and its wide-angle lens. There's minimal barrel distortions, colors look natural, and photos come out sharp even all the way to the corners. The wide angle plus the larger aperture in modern smartphones like in the iPhone 8, the Galaxy S8 and the Pixel 2 means that you can get some really nice interesting wide shots with a decent amount of bokeh as well. Autofocusing works well, and there's really no significant compromise when you've put this extra bit of glass on top of your camera. There's also no hint of vignetting with the newer version, which is actually an improvement over the first version, given that the older lenses, when used with newer smartphones, tends to have some pretty significant vignetting around the edges. And it's definitely evident here with the V1 when used with my iPhone 7 Plus. Otherwise, comparing the two images, aside from the clear vignetting seen in the older lens, both have a pretty similar field of view, and both look pretty similar in both sharpness and distortion, which is more testament to Moment in having a pretty good quality V1 lens in the first place. In some cases, it was actually quite hard to tell which photo was taken by which lens. Then comparing to one of their competitors, the BitPlay HD wide-angle lens. It maintains a similar level of sharpness, though maybe the BitPlay exhibiting a little bit more distortion compared to the Moment V2. One issue that it shares with the BitPlay lens, however, is the presence of flare. Shooting normally and not even into direct sunlight or any other direct sources of light, a lot of photos seem to show some flaring in the corners, and this wasn't really an issue seen in the V1. The very small hood on the V2 wide-angle lens does very little to mitigate any stray light from coming in, and obviously a lot of these photos would require a little bit of touching up in post, unless you were very careful with the angles, though this in itself poses its own problems because it limits how you can compose your shot. It didn't happen all the time, but did occur a little more often than you think. Otherwise, outside of this, the new V2 series was a pleasure to use. A lot of people who own the LG G6 or the V30 love the wide-angle camera because it gives you a lot more flexibility with the type of shots and the composition you can get. It also means you can get a lot more of the scene in at tight spaces, and this applies with the V2 wide-angle lens from Moment as well. With the V2 attached, you can end up getting a lot more in the scene, and it's just a joy to shoot with, and you're not really sacrificing image quality with it. And it's not only the standard lens that gets a mounting point. If you own an iPhone 7 Plus or above, any dual camera system that's compatible with the Moment lenses, they actually provide an extra mounting point on the telephoto lens on the case as well. And what this means is that you get a lot more flexibility to allow to do some fairly interesting experimentations with other lenses. So if you mount the tele lens with the telephoto zoom, what you'll get is an even further reach than the 2x optical zoom that you usually get. And you can get even closer when used with the macro lens. I'm not sure that was the intention of this mount, but they work nonetheless, and in some cases makes it a much more interesting shooting experience. So, should you invest in the Moment V2 series? Well, if you own a newer smartphone and you're already thinking about buying some accessories to improve your photography game, then this is one of the best options. These lenses aren't particularly cheap, but when we're talking about lenses that packs in technology that you'd see in, say, a DSLR lens, then you're getting some serious quality. So if you already own the lenses from the V1 system, then updating your gear to be compatible with the V2 system wouldn't be the worst idea in the world, especially if Moment decide to release a few more specialized lenses for this series. However, if you're happy with your older lenses, I also think you don't necessarily have to go out and buy any of the new lenses either, especially given that they all are pretty much the same optically except for the newer wide-angle lens. And if you chose to stick with the older V1 series, then I wouldn't blame you either. Anyway, what do you guys think? Do you think this is a massive waste of money, or do you think this is a great idea? Do you already own these Moment lenses? Let me know in the comment section below. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, give us a like, and if you haven't already, do consider subscribing. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Say good day, Mum, for me. Cheers.